So good morning everybody and welcome to the beautiful Suffolk coastline and no less the Southwell Pier where I'm going to be shooting this morning. The time right now is 4:30 and sun's due up in 10 minutes. On the horizon we've got a little thin layer of cloud, but apart from that there's not a lot to deter the light hitting this pier first thing as soon as the sun comes up. There's a little band of cloud just over to the left of the pier and hopefully that will catch some light and we'll get a lovely image this morning. So my choice of camera system is the Pentax medium format 645Z digital camera. The lens I'm using this morning is a 28 to 45mm lens. Now on a full frame 35mm system, that's about the equivalent of a 21mm lens. The filters I put on front of this lens are, they've got to be right. They've got to be the best they can be because this lens is just so unforgiving with any imperfections in the glass that I put in front of it. When I'm shooting at f22 or 18 or 11, anything in that range, this lens will pick up the imperfections of anything that I put in front of it. For that reason, I use the Kase filter system. So let's get on. I think I'm probably going to go for a neutral density grad this morning to start off and then take it from there. So I've got the camera now into position, I've framed everything up, and what I've gone for in the end was a 0.9 neutral density Kase filter. And the reason for that is, if you look just on the horizon there, round about here, you get the thin area of cloud that's just thickening as it gets lower and lower onto the horizon. So anything below that point is my base exposure. Anything above that needs dealing with, and I'm dealing with that with the filter. So I've put the transition line just along the edge of that cloud there, just to balance the exposure up between the highlighted part of the sky and the much lower exposed part of the sky where the dark clouds are, and also the dark clouds are reflecting on the water. So all this here needs balancing with that above. So that's why I've gone for that filter to start with. So I think that's me done for this morning, but I just want to quickly talk about the kit that I've used today. There's been some slight modifications along the way this morning that I just want to talk you through now. So I started the session off with the 0.9 neutral density graduated filter that was holding back the bright portion of the sky. Now because the sun has risen higher and higher now, the light has increased and the shutter durations have also increased with it. My vision for this scene this morning was one that was calming and pleasing on the eye. When the sun gets higher in the sky and the shutter speeds get faster, the problem is that the water begins to freeze in its motion as it moves backwards and forwards. And I, for one, like the water to look nice and soft as the bottom part of my scene. It's not to everybody's taste that, but I certainly like it. I find that it's much more calming on my senses when I look at a shot to see nice, soft, ethereal looking water. So what I did was I put the Kase 10-stop neutral density filter on. Now when you look at a 10-stop filter, it's virtually black and it's hard to imagine that any light can come through it, but over the long exposure the light bleeds through to the sensor and exposes the image over a period of time. And in this instance right now I'm actually getting 8 seconds exposure time at the aperture of f16, and that's amply long enough to create this nice soft movement to the water that I want. Everything this morning is sat on the new Kase K9 filter holder with its new modifications. Apart from it looking nice and slick compared to the older one, it's got this new bigger wheel on the side that when you've got a polarizer, the magnetic polarizer inside, it helps to rotate the polarizer much more easily if you've got gloves on. They've also changed the thread on the pin on this side, so when you turn it to get on and off the filter ring, the geared filter ring at the front of the lens there, you're not spinning it lots and lots of times to get it on and off the front of the lens. So a much slicker approach to the new filter holder. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put two images on. I'm going to put one with the 10 stop neutral density filter on, so you can see that nice soft out of focus water, and then one shot quickly followed by that without the 10 stop on, so you can see the harsh appearance that you get without using this filter. So I'm going to call it there. Hope you've enjoyed this very short video. It's been a lovely day here in South Walden on the Suffolk coastline. I'll put those images in now, but until next time, bye for now.